They call it the shock poll. I'm shocked that they think it's a shock. And will Biden run again in 2024? What? We're having this discussion now? I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance.
Those who forsake the law praise the wicked. Those who uphold the law resist them. Welcome to the Voice of Resistance.
In 3, 2. Welcome to the program, friend. The Drudge Report, which I've stopped looking at, I'll get to that in a minute. The Drudge Report had a headline this morning, shock poll. Biden at 36%. Biden's approval rating is continuing to drop. He's at 36%. Now, a couple things. Number one, how could you call this a shock? Really and truly, how could, I want to know, who are the 36% of the people that approve? That's 1 in 3 adult Americans. Who are you people? What do you possibly approve of? Inflation? Shortage of fuel? Price of gas and heating oil going through the roof? Afghanistan. You approve of that? You approve of the Green New Deal and the fact that they're trying to cripple our economy? I mean, do you approve of the southern border? The hundreds of thousands of people flooding in illegally and then just being dispersed? Do you approve of the offer of the Biden administration to give people up to $1 million who were separated from their family? When President Trump was in office, they hurt their feelings. The criminals had their feelings hurt. Who are you people? The shock is not that he's at 36%. The shock is that he's at 36%. How come he's not at 24, 20? Who are these 36% that approve? Anyway, I digress. By the way, I want to talk about inflation for a minute, but I first want to talk about Drudge just for a second. I, like many of you, for years was a Drudge fan. Drudge is an aggregator. The Drudge Report just takes news headings, news clips, and creates their own headline, puts a hot link, you click it, and then you can see the news. And there are people on his staff that are really digging, researching the news. And during the Trump presidency, Matt Drudge, his website, the Drudge Report, went to the dark side. And I read all that I could about it. I don't know what happened. There's a lot of speculation that he was personally miffed at President Trump. There's others that speculate he sold a very large part of the Drudge Report to one of the left-wing one of the left-wing big tech companies like Google. So one of the stories suggested that Google bought a significant share of the Drudge Report, and with that purchased editorial power or even editorial control. So bottom line is the Drudge Report for years was a strong conservative aggregator of news, and then they flipped. I mean, just flipped. So it's a tragedy. Today I went on Drudge, and before today, it's been well over a year since I visited the site, because as I was working my heart out during the election cycle to stop Joe Biden and to help with President Trump's reelection, I was watching the Drudge Report and finally realized this guy has betrayed us. All the news things he's putting up there are anti-Trump. What is going on? And I just stopped. I'm just disgusted. And I hope some of you were as well. Hey, guys like me, I'm a spit in the ocean when it comes to influencing Matt Drudge. But I still have my conscience. So anyway, let's talk about the economy just for a second. I do a lot of the shopping in my home. I do most of the shopping, most of the grocery shopping I do. I'm always watching things like the price of grapes, price of bacon, the price of milk, eggs, bread, staples, things that you just are going to have. So about 2 months ago, in our grocery store, the price of a gallon of milk jumped from $2.59 to $3. It was $2.60 to $3. It was about 20, it was about a 20% jump at the time. Might have been $2.49 to $3, but I was like, what? Like that. And then 2 days ago, it went to $3.29. That's another 10% increase. So milk in our community has gone up almost 30%. Eggs, 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, a dozen eggs was 99 cents at Kroger. Today, same dozen eggs, $1.49. That's a 50% increase in the retail cost of eggs. Last night, I went to the grocery store and grabbed a loaf of the inexpensive Italian bread. You know, it's not cut, it's just in a bag, and it's a loaf that kind of goes like that. I love them. They're great for French toast, garlic toast if you're having some Italian dish. For 6 years, I have been buying that loaf of bread at Kroger for 99 cents a loaf. Yesterday, $1.49. And they had the audacity to put normal price $1.99, sale price $1.49. One of the Kroger people was there. I said, "What is going on? This bread just jumped 50 cents a loaf." She said, "Yep, I know." She just kind of shook her head, turned, and walked away. Bacon. For the first time in my life, I bought one of those 3-pound packs of bacon, the thick cut, $18. $6 a pound. And that's supposed to be the inexpensive one. I've paid $8 for that same thing on sale, $9. Whenever it goes on sale, or it used to go on sale for $8 or $9, I would buy 4 or 5 of them. We eat a lot of bacon in our house. We've got a lot of kids. $18. $18. This is unbelievable inflation. Never mind the price of gas, the price of diesel fuel. And there's 36% of the people in this country that think Biden is doing a great job. Biden closed the Keystone Pipeline. Biden is putting a freeze on drilling for new oil. When President Trump left office, we were energy independent. For the first time in over 70 years, we were completely energy independent. And now we're begging at the feet of OPEC, "Oh, please produce more oil. Please lower the cost of oil per barrel." This is treachery of the highest order. And there are still 36% of the people who think that Joe Biden is doing a good job. So I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Democrats and whether or not Biden will run in 2024. I was reading this morning. It's like, are you kidding me? We're having this discussion now? Really? I'll be right back. Welcome to the program, friend. This headline, I believe, was from The Hill. Democrats question whether Biden will actually run in 2024. When I read that, I was like, what? The cognitive issues alone. Anybody who watches President Biden on a regular basis, which unfortunately I do because I'm involved in news, dissemination of news through this program, he's not all there. Biden is just not all there. I don't know how many hours a day they have to have him sleep. I don't know if they're jacking him up with caffeine before he gets in front of a camera. I have no idea what's going on. But come on, most of us recognize, the Democrat machine certainly recognizes he's in trouble cognitively. So anyway, let me read you this paragraph because this is funny. Electability was the number one issue in the last election. It's why Biden won the primary. There's going to be a contingent out there that believes that, oh, it's Trump again this time around. We have to have Biden again, said one Democrat aide who worked on a presidential campaign in the last election cycle. In other words, there's going to be a rematch. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, a rematch? Whatever title bout, please forgive me if I'm making an incorrect reference. So, because Biden beat Trump, it was going to bring normalcy and decency. Does anyone believe that what's happening in America right now is normal? The Biden transgender agenda, is that normal? Biden turning the Attorney General and the FBI loose on parents who are protesting at school board meetings. Is that normal? Biden offering to pay money to illegal immigrants. Is that normal? Is that decent? Does anyone feel like, yeah, since Biden came to office, there's normalcy and decency again? It's a joke. But they're banking on the fact that Trump is so hated that, and the January 6th riots, that those two things, Trump is hated and the January 6th riots, they believe that they can keep the Donald from the White House a second time. If Trump runs for office in 2024 in the primary, it's his. There's nobody that can beat him, at least not now. I mean, things could change, but there's no one that could beat him. If the primary was held today, President Trump would be the winner of the GOP process in a landslide. So the question is Biden the man to beat him? Here's the problem that the Democrats have. Number one, Biden is not there cognitively. Number two, Kamala Harris, or Kamala, whatever her name is, she is a liability. Her approval ratings are even lower than Biden's, and there is great fear among the Democrat machinery that if Kamala is the nominee because Biden has to retire, or, because cognitively he's not there, or he dies while he's in office because he's old, that if Kamala is the president, that the Dems are done. That Kamala is not liked, she's not intelligent, she's not a good person, and there's stuff coming out about her that is quite distasteful. So they're left with Biden against Trump. Now here's the thing, all right? In 2020, Trump ran against himself. It wasn't Trump against Biden, it was Trump against Trump. Because of the anti-Trump attitude, because of tweets and his bombastic, somewhat belligerent nature. I'm from New York State, so it never bothered me. I mean, maybe once or twice. A couple things I wish he hadn't said. But anyway, I digress. A lot of the country doesn't like that speed, that style, that aggression. And so it was Trump against Trump, and Biden happened to be the winner. Right now, what does Biden have? A track record. He has a track record as president. And it don't look so good. You tell me if you want to focus on the economy. Not good. Massive inflation. Runaway inflation. Shelves empty. Gone to the grocery store and seen entire sections empty? I have. Energy through the roof. No energy independence. Hundreds of thousands of jobs lost in the energy industry. In the industries that are tangential to it. The COVID insanity, him enraging people with his mandates through OSHA. The southern border debacle. Afghanistan. Turning Afghanistan overnight into the largest arms dealer in the world because of all the weaponry we left there, and Americans are still behind enemy lines. Biden has a history. Biden has a record that President Trump can run against. And look, when you put the President Trump record, just the record, against the Biden record, energy, gas was down around $2 a gallon. Now it's up to $3.40. That's what, a 65% increase? More? Yeah, it's almost a 70% increase in the price of gas. That alone should kill Biden, politically speaking. So when you put the Biden legacy record against the Trump legacy and record, because the presidency is not about personality, it's about policy. When you put the policies and the records of these two men against one another, Donald Trump should mop the floor with this old, foolish, God-betraying evildoer named Joe Biden. Did you see how I kept it together there? I kept it between the lines. I was writing that as I went, and I was afraid I was going to go right outside and say a name that I would regret. You're going to have to edit that. I'll be right back. The data is in, and it's not good for Biden. it's good for freedom. There's problems with the vaccine. Okay, I'm going to devote a show. I have to do the research. We have to get the names up. I'm looking over here. We have to get the names of the people? There's a long list of athletes who have died of a heart attack after having gotten the vaccine shot. It's scary how many of them have either died or have serious medical problems. These are incredibly fit athletes who, after they got the vaccine, had massive heart attacks and are dead, or have problems that make them so that they can't play their sport anymore. So I wanted to devote a show to it. It's one of those shows that I'm on television, okay? I'm being carried on the Walk TV and networks all over the country, for which I'm so thankful and so honored. I have a little YouTube channel, which I don't devote much time to because I still believe in terrestrial TV. But YouTube has already given me one strike because I talked about what medicine I got that got me out of bed when I had COVID. And if I do this show on the athletes who have died, it's very possible that I'll get another strike, and then more of that, and my YouTube channel is gone. These people do not play around. They are choking information. These are evildoers who are choking information away from the American people. And if you say something on YouTube that they don't like, they'll choke you out. It won't matter if you tap. You're gone. You're dead. So anyway, forgive me for digressing. The OSHA rules are so draconian. There have been 2 circuit courts of appeals that have said, no, you can't do this. You can't mandate that a company with 100 or more employees force their people to get a vaccine. So here's the data that we have as of this morning. 30% of healthcare workers are not vaccinated, and they're pushing back. In our local town, Memphis, Tennessee, they had 200 nurses out in front of Baptist Hospital. Baptist Hospital is saying, we're going to fire all of you. The firing is coming up any day, literally. But if you'll take the shot, we'll give you $25,000 cash. That's how desperate they are. And, a good product sells itself, said one of my staff members this morning. A good product sells itself. You shouldn't need to bribe people with $25,000 if the vaccine is just good and in their interest. As of this morning, 40% of TSA employees are not vaccinated. Now, I just came through Orlando. I went to a film festival down there. And TSA is stretched right now. So can you imagine what will happen in our airports? We have more air travel in America per capita than any country in the world, as far as I know. So this is a huge part of our economy. Can you imagine if 40% of the TSA was fired overnight because they refused to get the vaccine? Like is happening up in New York with firefighters and with police. I mean, this is insane. And the data that is starting to come in shows that the vaccines are not all that they were cracked up to be, and you might be getting a little more than you bargained for. That rhymed. A little more than you bargained for. Is there a heartache waiting at the door? I've got to take a break. I'll be right back with an encouragement to you and a request. Don't go away. Welcome back, friend. We won 2 awards at the International Christian Visual Media Conference. We are a finalist for Best Feature Film, over $250,000, and a finalist for Best Comedy. I'm excited, and we will be at the NRB. The award ceremony is at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention in the spring. So I'm a finalist in 2 categories. Our film is a finalist. We still have a few things that we have to do as far as getting we have to get a trailer done. We have to finish the credits at the beginning, and we have to finish the credits at the end. We need help financially. I'm asking you to help us, please. If you will call the number that you see on your screen, make a contribution of any size, we will send you a review copy of Time Boys. All right, you're going to see what the buzz is all about. We've won almost 40 awards in 12 different film festivals. It's just cool. It's just fun. It's a fun movie. If you give $100, we will list your name at the end of the movie as in special thanks. If you give $1,000, we will list you as an honorary producer. If you want to see young people tell good stories, to be in an industry that needs good, righteous, holy voices, this is how it works. I'm asking you, please, please call the number on your screen and say, I want to make a contribution for Time Boys. We will send you a copy of the movie, and I promise you're going to love it. It'll be fun to show your family this holiday season. Also, we just finished For the Journey, a musical album. Going to ask for that. Hey, I'll throw it in. Give a penny. We set these up, our 800 number set up so that you can make a contribution of any size. If you're broke and you just want a good movie, give $1. Yes, it's a loss to us, but blessed is he who gives. It's more blessed to give than to receive. I'd rather that you got the DVD and we lost money so you could see it, enjoy it, pray for us. So, a gift of any size, we'll send you the movie. $100, you'll be listed as special thanks, and $1,000, you're an honorary producer. Thank you.